Right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this meeting of the Raupo Drainage Committee. Before we get going, I'd like to ask Grace, could you open us with a karakia, please?
Inui tātou. I te atu e inui ana mātou kia koe. E arahina mātou e awhinatia mātou I ngā wākato. Ko koe hoki e urune e manane aene ākini. Amane. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for bringing us together to make decisions for the wider community. We ask that you put your love around our whānau at Nomai, the Steiner whānau, who recently had a passing. We ask that you look after our elderly and our mokopuna. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Grace. Apologies. I'd like to move that we accept the apologies of Ross McKinley and Greg Gent. Could I have a seconder for that, please?
I second.
Grace. All those in favour? Aye. Carried. I'd also like to move that we confirm this morning's agenda. Have a seconder for that, please. David Hart. All those in favour? Aye. Aye. Against? Carried. I'd like to remind members to declare their potential conflicts of interest in particular in any agenda items, and also they may declare. I'll declare my standard declaration in that I am currently employed by the Raupo District Council. Any views expressed by me during this meeting are my personal views only and are expressed in my capacity as Chair of the Raupo Drainage Committee and as a representative of the Raupo Drainage District Targeted Ratepayers. The opinions and views expressed are not in my capacity as an employee of Raupo District Council and are not necessarily the opinions of my employer or the elected members of Council. This conflict has also been declared with KDC. Are there any other potential conflicts needing to be declared for the agenda item? Thank you.
Unless you consider Te Reo Hau settlement trust a conflict, because I also work on the environmental matters pertaining to Ruawai and the North Kaipara district. You consider that as a...
I don't perceive it to be. Thank you, Grace. We need to confirm the minutes of the open extraordinary meeting from September. We'll take those minutes as read. I would like to confirm that they are a true and correct record. The seconder, please. Councillor Vincent. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Carried. Now move to item 4.1. Raupo Drainage Operations Report. Wayne, could I ask you to come forward and present, please? Oh, sorry?
Do you want to get a mover and seconder now?
Or
For the operations report, just get on the table.
oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll move that we to that effect. Seconder, please.
Grace.
Grace. Sorry, Alana. Wayne,
Right.
the floor is yours.
Okay, activities for the last quarter, compliance and health and safety issues, there's nothing to report. Floodgates, we've had floodgate inspections have been completed, but yet to be compiled. We've made a list of essential works at this stage. Debris removal has been completed on floodgates 1, 2, 38, 5 and 106. Safety rails have been fabricated and fitted to floodgate number 39, Westlake Road, and number 45, Wilson Landing. Floodgate door lift ropes were placed on floodgates 53, 54 and 24. Floodgate door support arms have been repaired on 39. Floodgate at the boat marina at number 33, it had the winch handle secured and the winch padlock to prevent people tampering with it. A new floodgate door and assembly has been fitted to a floodgate to a culvert installed in the Borrowpit area on drain 25 Galvin Road. Machine cleaning has been completed in the Borrowpit drains from number 6 and 25. That's from Now My Wharf Road and Aspinalls through to McKinley Road. Removal of Phoenix Palms and cleaning of a section of the town drain from properties number 41 to 47 from Raupo Road has been completed, and a new steel grate has been installed on the stormwater line. Machine cleaning has been completed in drain 13 from the Whitlam Road Bridge to the top end of the Stanaway property. Drain spraying, the spray contract 5 to 4 has been renewed with a similar value to last year, 125,000. This has been signed for this 24-25 season, and round 1 is presently underway with well over half the strip spray. Stop banks, the Gent Stop Bank project has had the winter works completed to allow the landowners farming operation to continue, and further summer works will be planned for January. Activities planned for the next quarter. Machine cleaning of part of drain 38 has been completed. Sorry. Access rails, what are we going to compile a report for the floodgate inspections. That needs to be tidied up. Floodgate 39, the door face timbers have been picked up on the inspections, so we've ordered the timber for this. The G Canal flood project is still underway. Planned machine cleaning is some slips in 49 G Canal, which we're monitoring. 45 Wilson Landing Road. 53 repairs of the internal stop bank, that's the lower 53. 55 machine clean the drain and repair access for the spray truck. This was all damaged during Gabriel. Bay Canal machine cleaning, state 14 on both sides. Prep works is underway for this prior to the long week digger coming in. Pumps, we've mounted a PDO drive bracket to support the PDO drive and the shaft, and general maintenance of the pump shed. There's some more to do there. Miscellaneous works, we've still got the Phoenix Palms we removed from the North Ash property. They need to be carted away in the summer months, and the stump sprayed. Access site is to be confirmed.
Thank you, Wayne.
Questions?
Yeah, from the floor, is there any questions on that operations report from anybody? Mark, Councillor Vincent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, just regarding the fitting of a grate to that drain 38 in Freiburg Road. Yeah. It is very much an operational thing, but what size is the mesh or the holes in the grate?
Well, it's only a bar grate.
Bar grate.
I'm not sure what the size is, but
it's just I have to say, and this is, I guess, in the realms of risk management, there was a tragedy at the sports ground in Kaiwaka some years ago, where there was a drainage hole. There was heavy rainfall event, a small lake formed, and kids playing in the water. One of them ended up down the pipe and drowned. And I was just wondering if there was a grill or something of a size that someone could put their foot through, they could get caught, perhaps if they were drawn in by the water. Like, I assume that there would be a reasonable velocity of the flow of water.
No, it's yeah, it's very, the flows are not as dynamic as you'd expect as like the Kaiwaka event. The primary reason for that particular grate was that the area was surrounded by Phoenix Palms, which have recently been removed, and there was a continual debris problem. So that particular drain is reticulated from that point at 39 through to the marina down here.
Yep.
And Phoenix palm fronds wedged inside pipes are very, very problematic.
Right.
So that was the purpose of the grate. The previous grate's been in position for a number of years. It actually corroded away.
Oh, okay.
So it was a replacement like for like in that instance.
Yeah, I just thought, I would be remiss if I didn't raise that question.
Noted, but the flows are quite sedate.
Mm.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions from the floor? I've just got a couple, Wayne, but I'll probably direct first one to Matt, actually. I just wonder if you could actually follow up with the chief executive in regards to the weather events impact report. The section regarding Te Kowhai Valley. Jason will have some background on it, but I think it would be good for the community to actually get an update on any progress with that. And just for your background, these items have come from my report to council regarding the effects of Cyclone Gabrielle. Te Kowhai sits outside of the drainage district, but has got significant flooding issues and they're quite vulnerable. And there is still a little bit of community angst in that area.
And recognising that sorry, if I may.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, recognising that we're in an open meeting, my comment would be that there's real opportunity for the regional council and the district council to work together in providing a solution.
Correct, yeah. At the moment it's sitting with, my understanding is this issue is sitting in the background with executive team members. Okay. But we haven't really had an update since the, on this particular issue since the report was tabled in 2023. The other outstanding issues regarding the roading, I think we're all aware of the challenges around the roading scenario. So I sort of hopefully we'll be briefed on the roading repairs in relation to that report in the future. The other quick note, was the Gent Stop Bank works. The only thing that's really holding us up commencing that at the moment is the condition of the topsoil pile. It's still rather wet. There's actually nothing stopping us from cleaning the bank, but we just really need that topsoil pile to dry out a bit so we can actually spread it. So that's we've been in conversation with the landowners and the contractors, and it's just this little, we're in a little hurry up and wait pattern with that until the weather conditions improve. Now I've moved that we accept that, or do I need to move again for that?
You can take statements if anyone wants to give a statement, or then you just put to the vote.
Is there any further feedback on Wayne's operation report? I would like.
When they sprayed our drain, Duns Road drain there, that drain had a lot of water in it. The kill has not been that good.
We'll just observe it and we'll note it with Wayne.
Just watch it. Yeah.
We'll note it from an operational perspective and address it in our operations meeting.
All of these bits of rain that keep coming, the drains are still holding quite a bit of water. I feel it's a bit too much for them to be a successful spraying job.
That is a little bit of a catch-22 because we don't want to get caught in a position where we delay it to the point where we can't complete it in time. So it's very much a juggling exercise.
Much the same as ours. Our drains were getting too full. We had to spray.
I've also noted within the district there's actually some very good kill and other stuff they have done. It's peeling out quite nicely. So we'll just keep an eye on it and manage it from an operational perspective. Here I'd like to move that we accept the operational report as read. Seconded, please.
Sorry, for the chair, Grace has seconded it.
Okay, thank you.
On the table.
Right. All those in favour? Thank you. Thanks, Wayne. Sorry.
I wonder if with this list of things arising from the storm, is that something that we should put on our agenda for every meeting?
This does appear every meeting, this one, so it's a live update
Oh,
document.
so I'm just about caught up then.
Yeah, just for the benefit of, so all of the items identified within that chair's report that were covered by the committee's mandate have been carried out. It's the items that we're waiting on that sit outside.
Yeah, like those.
The roading
Road.
and the Te Kaupapa issue that sit outside our management role.
Yep.
Those are just the only outstanding issues. Item 4.2, financial report. Andrew, you're up to.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Good morning, members. In front of you will be the financial report drafted for the result for the first 3 months of the financial year, so that's ending 30th of September 2024. I'll take the report generally as read, but we'll draw your attention to a couple of points. The first being the last financial report that we tabled here was for the 11 months of the last financial year to the 31st of May 2024. So what you can see there in Appendix A is the final result for 23-24 financial year, the year ending 30 June. And you can see that as a result of the stock bank overrun, we're slightly lower than we would have liked. However, in 2024-2025, due to the recent resolution of council to limit the district's exposure to that project to the original budget, we've returned about $380,000 or $390,000 back to district funds there. So if we look at the current financial year, you'll see that we're well underspent on operations and maintenance, which is not unusual for the September picture. Obviously, everything kicks off later in the year when things are warmer and drier. And there's a couple of, the aforementioned $390,000. We'll monitor, obviously, maintenance operations as we go, just to see how we're going there. And the final point, I'll just like to note that, and it doesn't really impact the financial operations of this district, but as part of council's wider revaluation exercise that takes place every 3 years for our waters assets, we have significantly increased the value of stock banks in our books, and that's simply because we now quantify the length and the size of most of them. So that affects Raupo and the entire drainage districts. But other than that, Mr. Chair, I'm happy to take any questions or comments as required. Thanks.
Thank you, Andrew. Just in regards to, I note the comment that there's actually no impact with the stock bank revaluations. At what point there's notes that I guess our other asset bases, when those are revalued, are there negative impacts, potential negative impacts to the district's finances with the revaluation of the likes of floodgates and our other infrastructure?
Well, not negative, but there can be impacts in the sense that if it now costs more to replace a floodgate, for example, going forward, we may have to, and if the district wants to collect that depreciation, so it's got the money when it's time to replace, that will obviously impact the total draw on the funds from the district and therefore the rates from the district. So just like everything else, materials and labour are increasing as we progress through the years. So that's also part of that outline of assets that I mentioned in that paragraph, is that we'd like to bring something comprehensive and just say, look, this is the value of all of the assets. We're depreciating them over the life of those assets. And it'll cost us more in 10 years to replace something than it would have cost us 10 years ago as a result. Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from committee as regards to the finance paper? Mark.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We did want feedback on note 4, and I suggest that request that we could distinguish between the district and the district, like as in Kaipara district and drainage district.
Right.
Because there are bits where we're getting the drainage district is being reimbursed in effect by the Kaipara district.
Yes.
And that's in that table there somewhere. I can't actually read that without my reading glasses, to be honest. I could read it on my screen, but so if that is something, just for my simple brain, it would be useful for me if we could label what was drainage district stuff. Just, I don't think we need to go as far as Raupo drainage district, but just say drainage district, then that makes that distinction. That's my suggestion. I'm not saying you've got to do it, but what would you think, Mr. Chairman?
Well,
Some,
I guess with the hindsight of having a backstory, it's not something that's come into my thought process, but from someone from the outside looking in, there is potential for confusion.
I think that's a fair comment. Well, the semantics there, obviously, we can make sure we're distinguishing between the wider council district, as you say, and the drainage district. But yeah, for clarity, where I say net capital expenditure covered by district, in that context, I'm talking about the drainage district, but I will make my language a bit clearer.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
or even DD or something like that, just to, yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank
To
you.
you, Mr. Chair, that was my point also, Mark.
Any other questions for Andrew regarding the report? Would someone like to move that we get the report as read and tabled? Brian Madsen. Seconded, please. Dave Hart. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Move to item 4.3, the Raupo upgrade G Canal project report. Brian, you want to come forward?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and greetings, members. Please take as read the Canal G upgrade report. Obviously bring to your attention, just on the first page there, there's no financial risk to the Raupo Drainage Committee as the project is fully funded from central government, and any cost overruns will be covered by the council and not Raupo Drainage Committee. And also need to highlight that the contractor has recently submitted, since the time of this drafting this report, an extension of time. So the dates quoted in the report for January handover will now be February handover. Some of those dates are dependent on weather conditions and obviously progress on site. So potentially still the handover may be late February, but the completion of the project is at the moment scheduled for mid-February instead of January. So happy to take any other questions related to the project and the report.
It's not so much a question, but a statement. I think like the timelines. I mean, it's not surprising or majorly concerning from a committee perspective. We understand the complexities of building this type of project, and in particular this one. It's quite a large project, and the challenges of that working environment and the weather conditions. So we are quite literally in the lap of the gods, or the hands of the gods, in regards to the timing. I would also like to comment to the rest of the committee that the project team have kept me fully updated with the progress throughout. So I'm quite comfortable with the way the construction side of the project's being managed, and I commend the KDC team for keeping those communication channels open.
Good.
Is there any other questions in regards to David?
I see a cost is going to incur on the fact it's got to be inspected.
Correct.
Every 6 years, and no doubt there'll be maintenance work around the outlets to keep them right. I also read further in the page it's been run by NRC. Did I read that correctly?
There's currently inspections by NRC, monitoring, etc.
So whose head does this cost fall on?
So there's inspections in relation to the functionality of the floodgate, obviously, or the tidal gate, as well as the galvanic protection for the sheet piling. So you've got steel sheet piling. Obviously, in a marine environment, it's going to be corrosion, so there needs to be some form of mitigation of that corrosion. So that will also need to be inspected and potentially replaced periodically. We don't know the exact time frame yet. It's still being assessed and the exact methodology for that protection is still being implemented. But the cost of maintenance, I would presume would need to fall on the RDC.
Yeah, there's an expectation. I mean, there's the operational costs going forward of the structure and future structures, just like the rest of our floodgate network, will be borne by the district. We've been in conversations with the team. We're still actually trying to finalise where the additional operational costs in regards to the ongoing operational costs in regards to this structure will sit. Trying to monetize it to give us an idea of the future requirements, financial requirements. Outside of normal floodgate maintenance, like Brian's has stated, there is a consenting issue, consenting inspections, which we're obliged to do as an organisation, and they're not overly onerous, and I think it is every 6 years. I think it was per 6 years or something like that. And I expect that the galvanic protection costs or the corrosion protection costs, wherever that system eventually ends up lying, as the costs need to be quantified, but they are actually a reasonably future cost. It's not an annual year-on-year type scenario. There is quite an extended time frame between that cost being incurred. That's not to say we don't need to budget for it, but it's not an immediate financial impact.
The cost will be there, but it has to be taken account of.
Yeah, and we are working. Like I said, the communication with the team's actually been excellent, and we've been pushing when we can actually quantify what those costs are, then they'll be brought to the committee and the operations working group, and we can budget accordingly.
It's up for a future discussion then.
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought the whole premise of doing this project was to save costs in terms of the rest of the stop bank network upstream of that point, which wouldn't need the same attention as might otherwise be the case, because it will no longer have to be like they're not sea fronting tidal.
That is correct. There are significant yet unquantified capital cost benefits to the district. So the operational cost will be significantly less than what the capital upgrade cost would have been had the project not been completed. So yeah, there's a bit of swings and roundabouts, but I don't see that the extra operational costs incurred are going to be onerous.
You realise it's this being recorded.
I do realise that. I'm quite confident in that statement.
Really good.
Just for you again, Mr. Chair, and probably noting Councillor Vincent in the room. This item number 2, issue with Te Reo Hau during the project works. And there's a comment there that this may be due to Māori board decision made by council some months ago. That does not reflect on all Māori in the district. It actually is a hapu decision to have a cultural monitor on the site. That's because of the significance, the sites of significance around the G Canal upgrade. And I'm going to put on this table that Te Reo Hau Environs would like to see the cultural monitor back there as tangata whenua, as mana whenua of that area.
Thank you. It's something we can address through the project team, Brian?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I will attend to that. Back.
Yeah, it's certainly great. So we're more than happy to actually. I've been trying to, been open with the site and actually getting there. So we're quite. You unfortunately weren't there. The last tent we did that, we had a committee site visit to the site to observe the progress. So the site is open, although it's not open to the public. It's open for us to inspect. So if you want to view the site at any time, or representatives want to view it at any time, just coordinate through the team or through the chair, and we can arrange that.
I think that's really good practice too, Ian, because we've also got a site up the road here that North Power and Te Reo are working together on, and that's laying the new power cables from this side over to Tikanui. So we have a cultural monitor there all the time.
I guess it is important to note too that the design changes, which I consulted with you directly on and corresponded on, resulted in significantly less excavation on site, significantly less. So the risks associated with accidental archaeological discoveries and the like have been vastly mitigated by the change of methodology. And we're happy to go on site and brief you on that.
Thank you.
Any further questions for Brian in regards to this report? No? I'd like to move that we, sorry, Mark, did
I
you?
was going to say, it seems to me overall, it's a good news story.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
So we just, yeah, no, it is. Thank you. I'd like to move that we accept the report as tabled. A second, please. Dave. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you, Brian. Item 5. I'd like to move that we move this meeting into public excluded section. Can I have a second for that, please? Yeah, well. In favour? Against? Carried.
I'm just going to stop recording.